versus Daniel Jacobs. Definitely a fight that I want to see.
How do you like Jacobs' chances? Or
I mean, Jacobs' movement might be an issue for Canelo, but I think Canelo, with the body work coming early to the body, I think he'll slow him down, and I think eventually he'll catch him at the end with either a nice clean left hook or that overhand right hand that he throws. He definitely has the power, and he definitely has the confidence level that a champion needs to be at that level. So I mean, I'm choosing for Canelo for a late knockout.
I could see a late knockout. Many people say that after the Jacobs Triple G fight, Triple G didn't look the same. He looked older. And I think you could say the same for Jacobs a bit. I mean, look at his last two fights. He was touched up a bit. Last fight, split decision. Some people had it going the other way.
Yeah.
So he's definitely, in my opinion, lost a step. But he's still going to make a great showing for himself.
Yeah, of course, he always does.
I think at this juncture, for Canelo, it was the best possible option for him to make. So kudos to Golden Boy on making it happen. And I'm really looking forward to that fight.
Yeah, so now... Hi guys, welcome to HOB TV. Dang, Steve, episode 1. What are we doing there, bro?
Man, how about that set?
What were we doing, man? But it was definitely a good episode.
We've definitely grown.
Exactly.
We have a family of bobbleheads now.
Exactly.
And monos,
Exactly. So, and if you guys haven't checked out last week's video interview with Alfonso Gomez, if you're a boxing fan and love the sport of boxing and want to get a deeper insight of boxing, you got to make sure to check out that video.
Yeah, what are you waiting for if you haven't checked it out?
Exactly. I don't know what the heck you're waiting for. Make sure you guys go check out that interview with Alfonso Gomez. Cool guy, man, with a lot of knowledge. So we definitely want to thank him for coming on by
We're
to
going
the
to
show.
have more surprises, more interviews to come.
Exactly. So make sure you guys stay tuned. And if you're watching for the first time, hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned with us as we talk boxing and get these special guests on the show. So this week is Canelo versus Jacobs fight week. It's an exciting week. It's Vegas week.
Dave, are you Vegas ready?
I am ready. We will be there. Vegas ready. We're excited.
Well, I mean,
I'm excited.
I think you can tell by the long beard and long hair. I am not ready yet, but
tomorrow after
we will
that
be.
fresh cut,
This
right?
time tomorrow, we will be there. We'll be ready.
Exactly.
Excited for fight week.
Exactly. So, Steve, go ahead and give us that awesome intro you do into this week's fight, man.
Okay, guys, as you saw in our intro, we talked about Jacobs Canelo on the very first show, as you've seen. And now we done one preview show, 5 storylines, Canelo Jacobs. Yep. And this is the second of 2 Canelo Jacobs preview shows. We're going to start it off with an anniversary. You know, we celebrate anniversaries here on HOB TV. So, Dave, 9 years ago today, Canelo Alvarez made his debut in Las Vegas.
Debut? How old was he?
Fight in Las Vegas. He was about 19 years old.
19 years old. Man.
And I wrote about it when I was a young scribe.
No way.
I wrote about it. It was on the undercard of Shane Mosley, Floyd Mayweather. Here's the article right here. Headline that I wrote: Azúcar and Canelo make up main ingredients for May 1 boxing extravaganza. Pretty clever, huh?
Yes.
So Canelo fought Miguel Cotto's little brother on that card.
Yeah.
And that was one of the first times I've ever seen Canelo in trouble, that first round. Remember that?
Yep.
You know, he had to get the nerves out, the jitters out, but he'd go on and dominate that fight en route to a stoppage. Years later would fight big brother Miguel, dominate him too, right?
Exactly.
So Jacobs versus Canelo Essentials. It's on DAZN this Saturday. Jacobs' IBF title is at stake. Canelo's WBA, WBC, Ring Magazine titles are at stake. But perhaps the most important title at stake is the WBC Mayan title.
The Mayan title.
What do you think about that one, man? The Mayan title.
It looks nice.
You're seeing it right here on your screen.
Exactly. It looks nice, though.
Yeah. Shout out to our longtime viewer, buddy of mine, Marco Barrera, not the fighter. But he's a big Mayan history guy. I know he's really excited for his belt.
Nice,
I think secretly he wants to wear this belt.
Really?
You know? No, but Essentials guys, Danny Jacobs, 35-2, 29 KOs, 32 years of age, 5'11", 73 reach advantage, 157 rounds boxed. Key wins for Danny Jacobs, Dave, Caleb Trout, Peter Quellen, and Sergey Derevyanchenko, where he won the IBF title in his last fight.
Yeah.
Canelo Alvarez, 28 years of age, 51-1, 35 KOs, 5'8", 70.5 reach, and rounds boxed 379 rounds boxed for Canelo.
A lot of rounds.
Outnumbers Jacobs for sure, but Canelo has 52 total fights, so that's where all those rounds came from. Canelo's key wins, of course, Erislandy Lara, very impressive at that point of his career. Miguel Cotto and Triple G, the second fight, right? Bovada has this line, has Jacobs as a 3.5 underdog.
Okay.
To 1 underdog. The odds really haven't shifted much. It might shift after the weigh-in, as they usually do. I think we agree those odds are justified.
Yeah.
Dave, let's talk about game plans, okay? You're Eddie Reynoso.
Yep.
What is your game plan going into this fight? What does Canelo have to do to defeat Danny Jacobs?
I think, like I said in the first episode, he's going to have to work the body. He's going to work the body to break him down. He's going to break him down. Because Jacobs is going to move, man. He's going to move around the ring. In order to slow him down, he has to go to the body. And then he also has to cut the ring off. Because let's be honest, Canelo has had some issues in the past with guys that move, like Erislandy Lara, for example. So, I mean, in order for Canelo to break down the movement, I think he's going to have to cut the ring off and go down to the body. And I think when he does that, he's going to end up catching him in the later rounds with one of his heavy punches, the left hook or that overhand right.
I agree with that, and as Canelo's giving up 3 inches in height. So the shorter fighter naturally has to get inside and work those body shots. Canelo, that's been his signature, is the body shots. The second Triple G fight, he bombarded him in the first half of that fight with body shots. Fielding fight, killed the guy with body shots en route to a third round stoppage. So that's going to be the key to this fight. Canelo's body shots. It's going to definitely wear Jacobs down. Jacobs 4 years older than Canelo, so that's the key, are the body shots, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about your Andre Rozier.
Yep.
Let's talk about what Jacobs has to do, right? I'll go first. I'll start it off.
Go ahead.
But, they call Jacobs a miracle man. The miracle man needs a miracle. But most importantly, he needs to listen to his trainer, Andre Rozier. He has a tendency to get undisciplined at times, impatient, careless, inconsistent with the jab. He tends to stay in front of his opponent and get into unnecessary street fight exchanges. He needs to fight a more disciplined and sustained attack. He needs to be more consistent with that jab. Triple G had a lot of success against Canelo in the 2 fights with the jab. Man, he has to keep it moving, keep that jab moving, body, head, all around. And I'm not saying if he does these things, he's going to win. Yeah. But it's going to save him from being knocked out. The essentials, what brought him to the show is his clean style of boxing, led by that jab ultimately. He has a great left hook, by the way, too, so he needs to keep that up.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, man. I couldn't say any better. I mean, other than he has to move, and like you said, he has to be consistent with that game plan the whole fight. Like you mentioned, he does like to stay there at times. He gets undisciplined. I think pride can get a hold of him, and he wants to try to bang. If he does that, it's not going to be good for him. I mean, he's going to have to move, use his legs, use that jab. He definitely has longer reach. So I agree with you 100%, man. But I don't see it happening. But hey, if it does happen, the miracle man can make his name official, right?
that would be the miracle of all miracles.
Yes. Hey.
Bigger miracle than the miracle on ice with the USA versus Russia. But, Canelo, let's talk about his focus, Dave. Let's talk about, he's in his prime, at his peak. He forewent, there goes the helmet, the battle helmet. But he forewent a media day this year, right? He didn't have a media day to focus on this fight. He felt it would have been a distraction for him. So his focus should be at all-time high for this fight. It's customary for a fighter to have those type of days, but it goes to show you where his head is for this fight, how seriously he's taking this fight.
Yeah, of course. I mean, this is not an easy fight, man. I mean, like we mentioned before, he has issues with guys that moves, with the guys that move, and Daniel Jacobs is going to use that footwork. So he understands that, man. So he understands this is a big fight that has big implications for him being pound for pound fighter. So I mean, he definitely wants to take this serious, and I think he is, man. I mean, he already looks kind of thin already at the media day the media week this week over there in Vegas. He already looks good in shape. Both of them do. But I think he understands, man. He's a professional, man. He's been doing this since he was a kid. He's with his trainers. They're professionals. So I think he'll be ready.
Yeah, as Alfonso Gomez mentioned to us last week, he's like a soldier in his focus and his mentality going into a fight. It's like a war, right?
Yeah.
Now let's play a little game of fact or fiction.
Yes.
Canelo versus Jacobs edition.
Okay.
Our first fact or fiction, David. Word at a training camp is that Danny Jacobs was sparring and training in the southpaw stance. Of course, he's an orthodox fighter. Jacobs told Boxing Scene about that. Obviously, it's evident that Canelo's had some trouble with some southpaws, especially southpaws that know how to move. David Canelo has had trouble with southpaws Lara and Trout, yet he defeated James Kirkland very easily. Fact or fiction, Jacobs switch to southpaw will give Canelo trouble.
No, I don't think so. I believe Jacobs has done it in a few of his fights where he's turned left-handed. It's not his natural stance, and you can tell. I mean, in past fights that I've seen him turn lefty, he doesn't. It seems like he doesn't look comfortable in it, man. I mean, it could be effective for certain fighters that he's fighting. Maybe at the level of competition he's fighting, he can do that. But with Canelo, he definitely can't do that. Canelo has fought Austin Trout, Eddie Lara. He had some issues, but I mean, he was able to figure them out. Kirkland, and this is not his first. This is not his first rodeo, man. Fighting a lefty. I mean, these guys been fighting for years. It's not like this guy turned southpaw. He's not gonna know what to do. You know, he knows how to fight southpaws. If it does happen, if anything, it's gonna be an issue for Jacobs, and I think he'll find that out quick and end up staying in his orthodox stance.
Yeah, I agree. And I remember right before the Trout fight, actually I sat in on a private sparring at the Wildcard West gym in Santa Monica, and Canelo sparred Hugo Centeno that day, who tends to switch to southpaw as well. And he sparred a local fighter, Lester Gonzalez, El Cubanito. You know, and both guys had their moment in that sparring with Canelo, especially with the straight left. It kept finding its mark. Then Canelo would go on to struggle a little bit against Trout, but ultimately winning a unanimous decision. Now, what's going on here, man? All these monos are flowing here. But back to what I was saying, I wouldn't advise Danny Jacobs to do so, to switch to southpaw. And I'll direct you back to the Triple G Jacobs fight. In the third round, Jacobs momentarily switches to the southpaw stance. Triple G reads that right away, comes at him with a double right, two straight rights, and down goes Jacobs in that third round. Now, he can try it against Canelo, but I believe he'll be met with the same fate. Canelo, you know, smarter IQ than Triple G, you could say maybe. He might read that a little sooner. Boom, hit him with the same thing.
I know that hurts you, but
Jacobs will go, oh, you know, I'll admit it, you got to give people their props, man. You know, so.
Another one.
no one bites the dust.
Right.
This is the Queen edition of HOB TV.
Exactly.
But you know, these guys are steady, you know, solid as a rock.
And another fact or fiction, right?
Another fact or fiction. The second one is, let's throw a bonus in there.
Yeah.
Canelo versus Jacobs, is it a 50-50 fight? I know there's a little documentary, 24/7 style show with the title of Canelo Jacobs, the 50-50 fight. Do you agree with that title? It's a 50.
I don't think it's a 50-50 fight. I think Canelo's definitely the favorite here, but hey, Jacobs has a fighter's chance, man. I mean, he had some success with Triple G. If it wasn't for that knockdown, I think I could have easily seen it a draw, but because of that knockdown, I feel like it definitely gave Triple G the edge in that fight. So to say it's a 50-50 though, I really don't think so. I think he's only getting older. Jacobs is only getting older, and Canelo's only getting better. He's in his prime right now. So, but don't get me wrong, it's still going to be an exciting fight. Jacobs still an exciting boxer who is going to put it out all on the line. He's the miracle man, as they say. You know, he wasn't supposed to be where he's at. He definitely has a good story behind him. So Yeah, man, it'll be an exciting fight though, man. But like to say it's 50-50, I really can't say that.
So what percentage would you say?
I would say like it's a 70-65.
Yeah.
You know, a 70-30.
I'd say 60-40, 60-45.
Yeah, you know.
No, I agree with you, and I think whoever made up that tagline,
Yeah.
you know, it's to sell the fight, obviously, to make it a little bit more evenly matched. Like you said, these guys are in two different parts of their career. Canelo's skyrocketing up, and Danny Jacobs, you know, you can make an argument, he's a little past his prime. I think he peaked in that Triple G fight. I don't think he's looked the same after the Triple G fight. Definitely gotten hit a lot in his last two fights. Last fight versus Derevyanchenko was a split decision. Took a lot of body shots in that one. Took a lot of jabs. Took a lot of straight rights. Now he's facing a monster at middleweight.
Yeah.
But you got two of the top three middleweights going at it. So, you know, definitely a can't miss fight.
Exactly.
But I'd say more 60-40, not 50-50.
Yeah.
Okay? So our last Fact or Fiction, guys. It's an undercard Fact or Fiction. Virgil Ortiz, a guy we're very excited about. He's a co-feature bout. He's taking on Mauricio Herrera at 147 welterweight. Now, Virgil Ortiz has stopped all of his opponents. He's 12-0 with 12 knockouts. Herrera has never been stopped. Fact or Fiction, David, Virgil Ortiz will be the first fighter to stop Mauricio Herrera.
Yes, Virgil Ortiz will be the first fighter to stop Mauricio Herrera. I mean, that guy's a beast, man. I mean, he has a good, clean style. He's gonna go out there and prove a point. I mean, it's on a DAZN card, a big, huge card like a Canelo fight. So I mean, he definitely wants to go out there and prove a point. I think he will, man. He has like I said, a clean style. He'll end up breaking him down too, and stopping him, man.
I think so too. He was really motivated by that act, man. He knows it too. That, and for him, it's just fuel to his fire. You know, I think the next crop of Mexican superstars, he's right on top of that. Very exciting, knockout artist.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I think it's a fact that he will be the first fighter to stop Mauricio Herrera. So, you know, now that leads us to the undercard for Canelo Jacobs. We're going to grade the undercard, you know. Now let's go down the list real quick. We got Virgil Ortiz versus Herrera, as we mentioned. Jojo Diaz versus Freddie Fonseca, Lamont Roach versus Jonathan Oquendo, and Saddam Ali versus Anthony Young. I see it as being all mismatches. Virgil Ortiz saves this card for me because his upside is so great, and he's definitely one of the young fighters to watch. But as far as a grade, guys, I would have to give this card a D+. Like I said, Virgil Ortiz saves this card for being an F. Just look at the card from last week.
I'm gonna give it a C. I'm gonna give it a C. I'm a hopeful guy here. I'm a positive guy. I'll give it a C. You know, who never knows? You never know. One of those fights might come out to be good. You know, you never know.
But let's compare this to the card last week with the Gallo Estrada, Sarung Visay, Jesse Vargas, Humberto Soto, and Danny Roman.
That was a good fight.
You know, fight of the year contenders all around on that card. So we go from that card to this card, and this definitely a lot to be desired in this card, man. Last week was a card of the year, guys. I don't think another card this year is going to match that one.
Yeah, that was definitely a good card, man. Like you said, Jesse Vargas and Sorrita Soto, they had a straight war. Straight from the get-go, I was surprised Sorrita Soto came out like that. But, hey, it was pretty surprising to me, man. But it was an exciting fight. But the fight that I really liked was that Daniel Roman fight. Fighting that dude from Australia. That was a real super clean fight. That guy showed some heart, man. And the Gallo Estrada was definitely a good fight. But yeah, man, this undercard should definitely be up there with that one, man. I mean, especially if it's a Canelo fight. I mean, I think Golden Boy should pick up their game in that area.
I mean, we were talking about it before, you know, the camera went.
Exactly,
The last great undercard Golden Boy had was the Mayweather versus Canelo card.
That was a straight all-star lineup right there, almost. Yeah, that was a deep undercard there.
Yeah, you had Matisse versus Danny Garcia,
which was a great fight.
You had Leo Santa Cruz and Amber Modest too was on that card.
Yeah.
This one definitely doesn't compare to that one.
Exactly.
But Virgil Ortiz, more on him. Reports are that he's going back to 140 after this fight at 147. There's two options for him at 140, Pablo Cano, and of course somebody we're very familiar with here at the House of Boxing, Tony Roscoe.
Heck yeah.
Would you like to see him fight Roscoe next?
I would love to see it, man. Both those fights would definitely be exciting, man. Virgil Ortiz is an exciting boxer, a clean boxer, and Orozco is too, and Cano is, man. They put on exciting fights. Orozco's not last fight, but the fight before against Ramirez for the WBC title was an exciting fight. Showed a lot of heart. So I think he has a good chance in beating Virgil Ortiz. So if that fight was to happen, and hopefully it does, because I think that should have been on the undercard. Right? Exactly. I think those fights should have been on this undercard to kind of boost it up more. So
I think we need to be the matchmakers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Roberto Diaz, sorry.
Yeah.
But no, you did a great job, bro.
Yeah.
But Orozco, and who knows, you might get to ask him pretty soon about that fight.
Exactly.
Right? Now, moving on, it's prediction time, Dave.
Yep.
Let me start our predictions by saying that former world champion Sergio Martinez, James Toney, and Iran Barkley are all picking Jacobs to win. Right?
Wow.
Now, we asked some gym members here their predictions, and let's go ahead and play it. This is what the gym members here at the House of Boxing had to say about this fight.
All right, this is as close to a 50-50 fight as you can get, I think. But I think Canelo has the edge because of ring IQ. Ring IQ. I think, of course, Jacob. I didn't realize how much taller Jacobs is, but I think Canelo's smart enough to get in there and punish that tall body. You know what I mean? He has a long torso, Jacobs has, and Canelo's those body shots will get him, man. So I think Canelo, probably distance, decision, or maybe freaking TKO 10. I think it'll be close though.
Diego, who you got, Canelo or Jacobs?
I got Canelo for sure. Viva la raza, 12 rounds. Split decision for sure. It's a 50-50 fight.
Thank you.
I think Canelo's going to win and at least to the 8th or 10th round by a knockout.
I have Canelo TKO in the 8th.
Canelo, TKO, first round.
You got first round knockout?
Yes.
Body shot?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I already know you asked a bunch of people in the gym and everybody said Canelo. I'm telling you now, it's going to be Jacobs. Jacobs is a true warrior like Triple G. Now, if it goes to decision, they're going to give it Canelo, but I think Jacobs got it, for sure.
So who do you got, Canelo or Jacobs?
Man, easy money all day. Look, we got Canelo in the 9th round with the body shot.
Canelo and Jacob, I think Canelo will get him maybe on the later rounds, 8 or 9 rounds with body shots. I believe Canelo's stronger. Jacob's pretty good boxer, but I think the strength and the condition is on Canelo's side.
Canelo
Is he going to win?
is gonna knock Jacobs in the 7th round with a body shot.
I got Canelo, 7th round knockout.
Canelo.
How is he going to win?
By decision.
By decision?
Yes, by decision.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Hi, my name is Carlos Barragan, and I'm here at the House of Boxing. And here's my prediction. Canelo Jacobs this Saturday. I believe that Canelo Alvarez will TKO Daniel Jacobs in the 10th round. What people forget is that, yes, Daniel Jacobs has a great comeback story. He contracted with cancer in 2011. He had a tumor the size of a tennis ball, I read. His internal organs ready. His spleen, his kidney ready for a body attack that Canelo Alvarez will give him. I think the equivalent to this fight is Julio Cesar Chavez and Maldrick Taylor. Maldrick Taylor was never the same after that fight, and I think that was what we could see after this fight with Daniel Jacobs and Canelo. In the first fight with Daniel Jacobs and Sergio Mora, Daniel Jacobs lost his focus. He recently just knocked him down. He was running in for the kill, and Sergio Mora, that's not known for knockout power, puts Daniel Jacobs to the canvas. Now, if Daniel Jacobs loses focus and doesn't stay with a jab, giving some movement, some distance, then Canelo's easy enough to get inside, break down the body. By the later rounds, Canelo's already timing is down on him. That Canelo Alvarez has great boxing and defensive moves. So once he starts to find the range, gets confidence, begins to feint down low, come over the top a la Kirtland, Amir Khan. The pace is slowing down. Canelo's finding the range. And that body attack's beginning to pay dividends. Then Canelo will TKO. So that is my take. Before we go into Canelo Jacobs fight, I picked Canelo Alvarez, 10th round, TKO.
Interesting predictions there, Dave. I mean, the fact that I think Canelo is a consensus favorite here at the House of Boxing, that was pretty interesting. And it's interesting, too, that we got all of our setback up here, right?
Right.
But Dave, do you agree with the members here who are favoring Canelo?
I do agree with a lot of the members, man. I mean, my prediction for this fight, I have Canelo winning in a 10th round knockout. I have a 10th round knockout. Like I mentioned earlier, he's going to break him down with the body and bring those arms down, have him stay there a little more. And like I said, he'll end up catching him, man, with that left hook or that overhand right that he throws. But he sets up very nice. Yeah. So, yeah, man, I have Canelo winning 10th round knockout.
You know, I'm going to say what I said for the Mikey Garcia fight. The more footage I've seen of Danny Jacobs this week, the less I give him a chance, man. He gets sloppy at times. I just see too many mistakes, and I think Canelo's going to capitalize on those mistakes. Ultimately, prediction, I'm going to say Canelo by unanimous decision. You know, that's a popular choice, but I would definitely love to see a knockout. Yeah. And if he starts with that body attack early, we could see that. You know, my personal bet's going to be 9-11. You know, but that's my my heart speaking. You know, my head is saying Canelo by unanimous decision, so I'll stick with that.
Exactly.
Now let's look into our crystal ball, Dave.
Okay.
You know, we're gonna look in our crystal ball, and you tell me, what are the headlines gonna be saying after the Canelo Jacobs fight? What are people gonna be saying after the fight? What's gonna be the big headline?
The big headliner is gonna be Triple G Canelo September.
I would like that, you know. That's a good headliner. My headliner is Canelo #1 pound for pound. That's going to be no question after this fight.
Exactly.
Second headliner, people are going to be asking Danny Jacobs if he plans on retiring. I think he's going to take a lot of punishment on this fight. Like as I mentioned earlier, I think he's taken punishment in his last 2 fights.
Yeah.
And this will be the culmination of that question. Danny Jacobs, is retirement in your immediate future? But Canelo pound for pound #1 after this fight, people are going to be saying that too.
Now, that's good. I mean, do you think if he wins by decision, do you think you can still consider him pound for pound?
A controversial decision.
It has to be convincing.
Man, it has to be convincing, but
I agree.
But you know what? I definitely wouldn't argue if somebody gave him the #1 pound for pound.
Yeah, because
if he wins by that type of decision either. I mean, I'm telling you, I wasn't impressed with Lomachenko's last fight. He was 100-1 favorite, guys. He was supposed to do that.
Yeah.
I told you here on that show that he was going to win between rounds 4 and 6. It was very predictable. Crawford, I wasn't impressed with the Khan fight either, you know.
Yeah.
Pay-per-view wise, it did less than 150,000 pay-per-views. Yeah. Nobody really saw that fight.
Yeah.
So this is the #1 pound for pound is Canelo's for the taking for this fight.
And I agree, man. I think he definitely needs a knockout though.
Yeah.
To solidify that pound for pound status, right? But still, winning by decision, I mean, won't be bad. Hopefully a knockdown like maybe Triple G, but that knockout is definitely going to solidify. And I think we will see it though, man. I think we will see it, like you said. Jacobs getting older, and Canelo's getting better, right? So you don't want to miss it.
And there's only one guy that has stopped Jacobs' entire career, Dmitry Pirog.
Oh, right.
In 2010.
Whatever happened to him? He just disappeared in the sunset, or what?
No, he had a back injury.
Oh man.
Okay, so guys,
that's another.
This is an interesting story, guys.
This is on the spot.
David brought
right
it up. So Dmitry Pirog, he knocked out Danny Jacobs in 2010. I covered that fight. I was ringside for that fight. Yeah. But shortly after that fight, Dmitry Pirog, guess who he was supposed to fight? Shortly after that Jacobs fight.
Triple G.
Triple G.
Oof.
A little known fighter named Triple G.
Yeah.
You talk about explosive. I believe that Dimitri Pirog was Triple G before Triple G became Triple
Wow,
G. If that makes
big
any
words.
sense.
That's big
He
words
was a
right there.
monster before
Yeah.
Triple G. So to get those two guys, Triple G in the beginning stages,
Yeah.
against Pirog at that time, wow.
An explosive fight.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bloodbath.
Yeah, man. So, hey, thank you guys for tuning on in to this week's episode. Make sure you guys tune into The Zone. Check out Canelo versus Jacobs. Me and Steve will be there live in person. We're excited. So thank you guys again. Make sure you guys stay tuned. Next week, we're hoping to have a special guest on the show. So make you guys hit subscribe. Stay tuned with us for next week's special guest. Thank you guys again. We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, guys.